Morning everyone, welcome to another video of your beloved duck chess speedrun. In case you don't know about duck chess, no worries, I will explain everything during this video. Or you can also check out my first ever duck chess video to understand more about the variant. And without any further ado, let's get into today's content. One of the very few times that I get the black pieces. e4. e5, now normally I would like to put my duck on d3. But these days when I think about it, the knights are genuinely a lot stronger than the bishops in this variant, so it comes to me that I should be blocking his knight instead. Absolutely brilliant, I am so smart that even I cannot believe it. d3. Knight f6. And for those of you who are wondering why my elo now is 1728 when last week I ended at 1738, I actually lost a game prior to this game due to a power outage. Lost 10 points of elo, very unfortunate. The rating system here sucks so much that we may have to win like 3 games in a row to actually gain back that loss of elo. Knight c3. Knight c6, duck on e3. Okay, on second thought, blocking the knight is actually quite stupid because he can always develop it another square. We'll come back to blocking the bishops. Knight f3. d6. Symmetrical position. d4. That blunders a pawn. This is actually a wrong move. Duck on b5 would have been better as it removes the square from my opponent's knight. But I guess it's fine. Knight takes d4. That blunders a horsey. Bishop e2. Bishop e6. Castle. Okay, duck on g8 is actually quite suspicious. Bishop e7. Bishop h5. Very aggressive. That blunders a bishop. Knight back to c6, and duck blocks the bishop from coming back. Queen f3. Knight takes h5, duck blocks the queen from a recapture. Rook d1. Knight back. Knight b5. Very aggressive. Bishop g4. Knight takes d6 check. Aha! He is using the danger level tactic, since I was attacking his queen, so in return he counter-attacked on my king, which forces me to make a response to his attack first because his queen is less important than my king. Absolutely genius, but it blunders a horsey. Queen f4. Free rook. King h1. He's panicking from low time warnings. Free pawn. Bishop d2. Knight takes e4, and I'll block my bishop from defending my own knight. Queen e5. That blunders both the queen and the king at the very same time. I am pretty sure that this channel is the only place that such blunders can happen in a very frequent frequency. Knight takes f2, duck on g1. Smothered checkmate in 1. Rook f1. Knight takes the king. For real. Props to this guy for not resigning after losing that much materials. Mad respect. Second game, let's go. We get an absolute beginner from Brazil. The account was literally created today. He has only played 2 rapid games. This game is literally his 3rd game ever. Very sad they paired him against me. e4, duck on e5. d5. That blunders a pawn, and duck blocking the queen from a recapture. Scandinavian duck games tend to be quite easy for me. Another free win confirmed. e5. Wait. So he pushed e5, but then put his duck on e6. To prevent an
Passant.
Wow. I didn't even know that was possible. How can a guy who has just created his account a few hours ago, not only know about the
Passant,
but also know how to defend himself against the move, in a variant that he is playing for the very first time? Absolutely very suspicious. Never mind. Well, third game. e4, duck on e5. e6. Full center, let's go. Bishop e7. Okay, if this is the case, I think we can actually waste a move here. e5. And I'll put the duck on c6. My e-pawn is neglecting his knight, his pawns are neglecting his light bishop, my duck is neglecting his other knight. Everything is absolutely perfect. I'm down to say that now he'll give a check on b4 and then blunder his bishop. There comes the check. a3, duck on d2. You don't even need to defend the checks in this variant, and instead you can just counter-attack on the piece giving the check. Absolutely very convenient. Bishop a5. That blunders a bishop. b4, duck on b6. His bishop is trapped. Resignation. Alright, we got back to the elo that I lost due to electricity outage. To be honest, it actually wasn't that hard. Final game. We get an 1869 from the US, with diamond membership. And he is over 2200 in rapid chess. I am so dead. e4. c5. Okay, now I'm scared. He is using my previous game plan against me. This guy has a camera in my room or something. Bishop c4. Let's see if he can really make the duck f3 plan works, because I seriously couldn't. Knight c6. d3. a6. He wants to trap my bishop. I'll prevent it first. Knight f6. Good chance to make a trade. He goes back instead. Honestly, I don't even think knight g8 is a bad move. I mean, it's definitely not a good move, but spending a move like that to keep the knight alive should genuinely be worth it. h6. Okay, now he's also trying to trap this bishop. Bishop h4, duck preventing g5. I mean, having my bishop on this diagonal should already be enough to prevent him from pushing his e-pawn, so duck on g5 is not that much of a loss. Never mind. That blunders a woman. A 2200 rated player blundering a queen in one move. Maybe I'm playing Miss Botez. Knight takes d8. Okay, so even though he lost a queen, this guy was actually a pretty fearsome player. He actually gave me a fight for my life. Knight c3, knight c6, queen d2, bishop e7. In this position, I decided to push. With his c-pawn pushed forward, there is no way I can win a center fight if this game drag on much longer. Need to snowball the material difference as soon as possible. C takes d4. Knight takes d4, duck on d3. Bishop g5. I'll keep things simple. B takes c6. Queen e2. d5 take bishop b3, knight e7, rook d1, castle. g3. Who knows, maybe I can trap his bishop. I can't believe I did. f4, duck on f6. But on the other hand, now my opponent has some very strong pawns in the center. I can already see my knight doesn't have anywhere to go in the very near future. He attacks my knight immediately. Knight b1. Bishop b7. F takes g5. Alright, now I'm up an entire queen, but my king is stuck in the center, and my opponent has way more center controls. We shuffled our pieces for the next 10 moves. And in this position, I sacrificed my rook. He took it. Honestly, it feels like a profit for me. I can take away that annoying horsey. Rook d6. Queen c5. I'm trying my best not to blunder my queen here. It's not about the win, it's about the backseaters in the comment section. Rook trade. Rook trade. King f8. Very aggressive. Knight c4. I'm trying to make him put his duck on d6 instead of c6. Exactly. Because I want c6 for myself. Take king f7. Alright, at this point there is no way I can lose anymore. All I have to do is just to block his rook from going forward. Hence I don't even need to use any brain here. And in this very position, my opponent quit the game and stalled for his time to run out. Plus 11.3, that was a very difficult game even though I was up a queen very early on. Duck chess speedrun, 2900% win rate.